as I was thinking kind of about, what I wanted to talk about today, just being up here, is kind of your circle. And, no pun intended, we just happen to be around a nice circle. But you guys, you mean the world to me. I mean that. Just like, this relationship, these friendships. And I know how much you guys keep me accountable. And the word of the weekend has been legacy, and that, for us, not only in the Salt Lake event, but even here yesterday, we all talked about legacy and kind of like what we thought legacy to be. And, we heard from Carl about Maul's house and the legacy that's going on. You know what I'm saying? The legacy that's going on. I was thinking about, that's why I brought the book this morning, My Secret Superpower, because I was like, maybe Carl gleaned something from the book, since he didn't glean nothing from the crib.
No question that.
But having a strong circle, you know what I mean? And like how that elevates your game and makes you elevate your game. So just to paint the picture yesterday, Carl is working the sounds and doing what he does at a high level. Him and I are going back and forth right before the event. And then I'm like, all right, boom, I'll lead it off. I'll do 30, on the keynote. And then I'm gonna bring Josh and Jamal up. And they came up and just killed it. And then E comes in straight after that and smashes it. And I looked around and I was just like, wow, we got a powerful circle. And you think about how this would work, each of us by ourselves. Like even E, you know what I'm saying? As powerful as he is, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would it work if you were
leastly for me if I was by myself?
Right. I'm just saying, like, it took all parts in order to make it an incredible event, and not only an event, but just in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that when I talk to Maul, our conversations are completely different than Josh and I's conversations. You know what I'm saying? Just because different upbringings, different, experiences, and, while the values are still the same in terms of family and, being husbands, and of course I can learn from them in that way, just the amount of information I get from them. And so for you guys, I just want to know, how important it is for you to have your circle. And then for the listeners out there, for those of you who feel like, man, I don't have anybody, and I listen to the podcast, and I love the relationship that y'all have. The three of us on the podcast every week, and then y'all come on, and it's just family. How do you look at tightening up your circle and things of that nature without maybe losing some relationships, without having to let people go? Because it's not a situation where you're like, you're not cool enough to be around me, or you're not strong enough, or whatever. And I think the thing that I glean real quick before you guys even go is, this is organic. And sometimes when you operate in your gift, like this happens, so I look at like how all of these relationships came about, and I'll just put a cap on it real quick and I'll shut up. But for me, I was mentoring, I was speaking, I was in my gift. That's what I do. That's how I met Eric Thomas. If I wouldn't have been in my gift and just a regular college student bumming around, my dad would have never been like, yo, go holler at ET. You know what I'm saying? But I was in my gift, and he was like, yo, that's what you do? That's what my son does. He's coming to see you. And then so Carl's in his gift of just serving, right? The chameleon. Carl's just like, yo, I want to be a part. I want to serve. I want to be a blessing however I can. Carl just comes up to the office, right? Josh, in his gift, being an exec, doing what he does, trying to better his staff and his community, says, yo, I'm going to reach out to the best speaker in the world because I want to pour into my staff, in his gift, right? Just hire E, boom, the relationship starts there. Obviously, it's history from there. Maul, you, by using your gift of real estate, of being, a police officer, a family man, bringing people to the conference, coming to all the conferences, right? And you end up just, weaving
Maul
your way.
more conferences than I did. I was putting the numbers together. I was like, shoot, you get more conferences than me.
And not only coming, but bringing people with you, and like, just being in your gift, using your gift, and even trying to better your family and your legacy. Like, here's Maul, who, like I said, is, millions of dollars in real estate, killing the game, beautiful house, beautiful wife, kids, marriage on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, Maul never came to me and was like, see, I'm really struggling. That's why we come to the marriage conference. He like, our marriage is phenomenal. They got matching t-shirts on, but he's in his gift, and he came around, and now you see Maul on the podcast and speaking on stage and getting his keynote together and people reaching out. And so, like, I say that to say this is organic. And I think when you operate in your gift, you'll find that. And so if you're not operating your gift and you haven't found your circle of those people, ask yourself, why am I not operating in my gift, and how can I start operating in my gift to get to that next level? So I'll start with Maul and then Josh, our guest here on the podcast, and you guys kind of tell us what, this circle has meant to you and how you found yourself in the circle, and kind of what it means for taking yourself, even though you guys are super high level guys, to an even higher level.
Yeah, well, like we always say, iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Plastic can't sharpen iron.
Yeah.
You have to find other iron to sharpen your iron. And I think sometimes in Chicago, man, I remember my problem was I found myself hanging around plastic. I found myself hanging around glass. I wasn't hanging around other iron. And that's why I would come to the conferences. I would step outside of my circle. Not only step outside my circle, I step outside my city just so I could find other brothers. I was trying to find that other kind of iron where I can relate to and say, hey, you can show me something, let me show you something. And then when I found that with you guys, man, it was like, okay, I got to get more of this. And that's why, man, every chance I got, I would come to every single conference, even if it was the same conference, right? I'll be like, look, I just got to get more of this. I just got to be around these like-minded people because, I wasn't getting this back home in Chicago. I was feeling unfulfilled, man. And so every time I would come
specifically though, Mar, like what were you feeling? Because you had the house, you got the cars, you got the family.
Yeah, but that's
like everything.
But that's all materialistic. I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. I got the house and the car and things like that. But that was more for the exposure, the mindset of my family. That was so that they can know that anything is possible. But the fulfillment of a man, the fulfillment of brotherhood, I wasn't getting that at home. And money can't buy that.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that money can't buy. So when I was coming around and then when me and you started talking, it was like, man, this guy here, he sounding like me. He's sharpening my iron.
Right.
You would call me up and be like, hey, Jay, you would call me at the craziest times too. And just be like,
sorry about that.
At the craziest
Jamal
times,
is the
by the
only
way.
one in my whole circle who got a job. So I always forget. I'm like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, what's up?
I'll be like, I'm out here in the police, And he like, oh, okay, can you talk? And I'm like, you know what? Hey, let's go. And so I'll pull off to the side, and, grab a pen and pad, and we get to talking. And it was crazy because we wouldn't even talk about business.
Yeah, nah.
You would just start talking about family.
Yeah.
Hey, how the kids doing? How Camille doing? I would talk about Candace and the kids. We would talk about, life. You would ask me about my brother and family situations. I would ask you about your brother and family situations. So that's what iron sharpens iron is. We didn't start talking financial and business and things like that till later on in the relationship.
Yeah.
So same thing with Carl. Same thing with E. E gave me his number. I think I had E number before I had your number.
I'm sure you did.
Oh yeah.
I think the first time I met he was like, "Hey, here's my number, man. Take this number."
Answer before you.
Right. And then I was like,
He wear a T-shirt with his number on it.
I remember talking to my wife like, man, he just gave me his phone number. And then she was like, for real? I was like, yeah, it's probably the bogus number though. I don't think it's real. But
and I never called it.
I never called it. I never bothered because I understand. I'm doing business too, and I understand how this man got a family. He's not out here, trying to have people blow him up all times at night. So I would send him a text, maybe like Happy Father's Day, something like that. He sent me back a smiley face.
He is the emoji
thumbs
king.
up,
Hey, that's better than what he could have texted you. He could have texted you some non.
But I will say, he always responds back.
Absolutely.
Always. Now I feel like hearing him on other podcasts where if he send you a message, you in his inner circle, he sends me messages now. So I'm like, I'm in there.
And Jamal tried to act all cool, but Camille busted him out and was like, yeah, one time E hit him back and he was like, baby, E.T. hit me back. I just talked to him on the phone.
Right.
I was like, oh, Camille killed your whole cool.
We so cool, you might get an error text from me.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't have got that before.
Yeah, I got a little bit. I ain't gonna say that.
You wouldn't have got that when we were family.
Right.